Hey guys, thank you for joining me on another episode of Making a Mark in Tech. I'm Mark and I want to help you make a mark in tech. On today's episode, if you ever had an innovative idea or a concept that you feel like you wanted to push in the tech world, but you don't know which career path to go down to make that really work, well, come join me today for understanding how to become a back-end developer, because that's where you want to start. Hey guys, thank you for joining me on this episode of Making a Mark in Tech, and we're going to go jump right into becoming a back-end developer. So, what is a back-end developer? Well, a back-end developer's responsibilities are using program languages to create code which actually makes web applications function at their best. So, if you remember last episode, I talked about becoming a front-end developer, right? Well, back-end developer is very vital to the front end being able to do what it does. Okay, so just like in life, you have left, you have right. In fitness, we have anterior, we have posterior. All these things are different things. We have foundational aspects, and then we have things you can build off of that, right? Well, back end, you're dealing with the server side, the back end of making sure whatever everybody sees function at a high speed, make sure the security is fantastic, make sure the data that's collected is organized and structured in a proper way, okay? So that's what the main focus of a backend developer is and does. Now, they also have to make sure they integrate well with making sure the APIs work well for mobile. So we have, laptop, desktop, but we also have mobile, right? And everything now is starting to go more mobile. So whatever app that we're building, we want to make sure that it works seamlessly with the mobile capabilities, and that's what a backend developer does as well. All right, so they work very closely with front-end developers as well as UX designers. Again, you have to make sure you have knowledge of what a front-end developer does as well as your own knowledge as a backend developer. And it's imperative that you're willing to work well with others and understand where they're going, but you got to understand the programming languages that you're working with tremendously. But it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort to really become a back-end developer. So that leads me to my second point that I want to talk to you guys about as far as becoming a back-end developer. I talk about a lot in my episodes about the traits necessary to be successful in these careers, because it's very important to me that I help you think about if you're going to make a shift into this profession. You want to know exactly what you need to have mentally, emotionally coming into it, right? You can learn everything else you need to learn, but you also want to make sure you have some innate traits. So one trait you want to really have coming into this profession is patience. Being a back-end developer, again, you're laying the foundation, but it takes a lot of knowledge, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of theory because you're working with algorithms and data structure, and then you have to apply that to real applicational usage, so therefore things can work seamlessly. So patience is a very important virtue to have. If you're not a patient person, you might not want to think about becoming a back-end developer, all right? The second trait you want to think about having is organizational skills. Can I say it right? Organizational skills. It's important that you are structured well because, like I said before, there's a lot of things you need to know and work through as being a back-end developer, from the standpoint of so many algorithms and so many data information that you have to learn, and then the frameworks that you're using. Generally, you all know, back-end developers know a lot of different frameworks. So frameworks are your programming or coding language, okay? So you have to be organized and structured because, again, you're gonna have to deal with so much. You wanna know where you put this code and how you structure this, all right? So organizational skills are very important and very vital trait to have if you're gonna be a successful back-end developer. The third trait that I want you to think about having is time management skills. Now, I'm not talking about, that whole thing where, you call your friend and say, I'm on my way, but you're just not getting in the shower. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being able to meet deadlines in a structured way and in a professional way. Because again, you're working with, like I told you, very closely with front-end developers, UX designers. You want to make sure you're working with other teams that with all the knowledge and all the coding languages you want to make sure that if you're learning a new coding language like Python, you already have Ruby locked down, but you're learning a new language but this project needs to get done in a certain time frame, you want to make sure you are punctual and you have good time management skills, okay? So those three things are crucial because it takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of patience to be a back-end developer, because like I told you guys before, you're building the bases that are the foundation for an app to work at its optimal. And because technology is constantly evolving and constantly being innovative and new things are happening, you got to make sure you're able to integrate things accordingly, and that's where it goes back to the organizational skills. Okay, so those are 3 traits I want you to think about. If you have those or you exude those in some capacity, this might be the career for you. If you don't, you might want to think about something else. Okay, you also want to think about the third thing I want to talk to you guys about is what do you need to know, or what structure or game plan do you want to go down as far as knowledge, okay, in order to be a quality back-end developer. Well, a lot of times, people who have a tech idea will say, well, I know coding, so I'm gonna go straight to the framework and the programming language. So I know Ruby and I know Java, I need to just learn JavaScript and I'll be fine. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you want to be a successful back-end developer, you actually want to start with the data structure understanding, the algorithm basics. Those things are important. You don't want to skip over those. So going back to things like linked list, hashing, those type of things are important, all right? Then you want to jump to your framework. So, your frameworks being Python, PHP, those type of things, Ruby. Then you want to jump into those. And then there's so many more that you can add on top of that. But make sure you have the data structure, the algorithm, basics. Then you can jump into the frameworks, okay, guys? And because then once you do that, you also want to go into making sure you're working on small projects. So small blogs or photo gallery shops and things like that, or resume builder apps, things like that, so you can start to apply that algorithm theory along with your new coding language framework. You want to start to apply that in small frames so you can learn from there how to become better and get better knowledge and applying your knowledge as a back-end developer. Now, the great thing about it, like I said in the beginning of this, once you start applying the knowledge and the theory and you start working through the kinks, what you'll find is you can start to really become very innovative and creative. That's how Airbnb and the Ubers took off, right, and became disruptors. They really looked at other apps and other things that were going on and just found the little loopholes, right? And as a back-end developer, if you take time, remember we talked about the effort, put in the effort, take the time, and you're patient, you can see where other things might be missed, because everything is kind of like a one-off, right? But just one-off a little bit better, right? So if you're innovative, you can do that if you learn the proper way and you're going through learning how to become a back-end developer properly, all right? So that's why I love this, because then you'll always have a career not only where you can work for somebody else, but you'll always have a career where, you can also create your own ideas. You can launch your own tech startup because you have developed the foundation of an app. And all you need to do now is just connect yourself with the proper front end or UX designers and go from there, okay? So that's the 4th trait I want you guys to think about as far as becoming a back-end developer, going through the proper steps and putting the languages together after you have already gone through the basic of algorithm and data structure, because that is so vital, all right? Now, you're saying, okay, after all that, that's all well and good. I got the knowledge, I'm going through the proper steps. I have the traits, I'm patient, I'm organized. But what do they pay, right? Well, this is a great profession once again. This is one that's always going to be in demand as a back-end developer. You're always going to be needed, like I said before, whether you're needed from another organization or company, or you decide to start up your own, there's always going to be space. But let's say you want to go work for somebody else, right? Well, if you're coming out with a basic bachelor's degree, in computer science, the starting pay can be anywhere as low as $65K upwards to say 100K. Again, depending upon if you were in school and you were working on projects, or you did a couple startups like we talked about, and they, you can prove, the validity, then yeah, you can get paid around 6 figures, okay? But anywhere between 65K upward to 100K. Now, if you come out with a master's degree and you've been working on some projects for some time, you've worked with some companies, you have about 5 to 8 years plus experience, you're what we call senior level, you can command anywhere from 150K upwards to 200K a year, okay? Again, but that's more senior level, all right, guys? So again, anywhere from $65,000 a year upwards to 200K a year. Again, just give yourself time. Remember, we talked about the effort, the patience, and time, because you're getting better as you go along, right? But companies will recognize that. So you got all that out the way. You know what a backend developer does. You know the traits you need necessary. You know what you can earn. You know the proper educational style you should go through. Now let's talk about, or knowledge you need to know. Now let's talk about the education that you should have in order to really command a great career. And instead of coming out at the 65K, hopefully coming out around the 100 plus K a year income. there's really no way around it. The good old adage of going to a four-year university and getting a bachelor's degree or getting a degree in computer science, that's the best route that I recommend you taking, okay? So going back to school, getting a degree in computer science or technology, something around those lines is best for you, because again, there's so much going on with that you need to know with algorithm basics, as well as, like I said, data structure, and then applying the knowledge of frameworks and programming code language. So you want to have that foundation laid properly. But if you're a person who is like me and you're like, look, I need to get it quickly, I can learn on my own, I kind of have a basic understanding of coding, I already got my Python understood, I already got my Ruby there, I might just want to get a little bit of understanding again of the algorithm basics. Well, there is one boot camp, and I'm not sponsored by them, but Brain Station is an online web development program company that actually does it online. It's a 12-week program, and after the 12 weeks, you get a diploma. They walk you through everything you need to know and learn. And then their claim to fame is that they have an 88% graduation rate, as well as this is what they say, after within 180 days of graduation, their students have been known to get employment, okay? So if you just need a boot camp or a style where you can learn your own, you feel like you got the basics understood, you just want to kind of rehash some things, this is what I researched. Seems to be a quality online web development programming course that you can take, okay? So, and I'll put that information in the link below for you guys so you can check that out and research that. But look, at the end of the day, if you're innovative, if you have your own ideas, but you feel like you want to learn how to structure it well, how to build out an app, how to make it work and learn how to help it work for mobile, being a backend developer is the best route you want to go. And like I said before, you will always be in demand. You'll always have job opportunity if you go about it the right way. Okay, guys? Look, I'm Mark, and I'm here to help you and me make a mark in tech. These are positions that are being had in technology, careers that are great careers, because manual labor is going to be extinct very soon here. So you might as well learn how to position yourself in the tech world and know about the jobs that are there, okay? And that's what this program is for. I thank you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave comments. I will read them. Get ready for the next episode, because I look forward to helping you guys make a mark in tech. I'll talk to you guys soon.